Did you have a good sleep, Evan?
Yeah.
You did? Oh, good. You pee-peed all over yourself, huh? Evan pee-peed all over himself. So we put one of these pads in the diaper, and then we double the diaper. But sometimes it misses. Like it only absorbs like some of it, and then it misses, and then it goes all over his pajamas and stuff like that. Anyway, I also put his pajamas on backwards because he has a tendency of stripping himself in the middle of the night, and then the diaper leaks or he takes the diaper off and stuff like that. So okay, go potty, go. Okay, good job. Good job. Now, can you please pick up the stuff that you put on the floor? And then can you please put it in the basket? Come on. Good job. Now, pick up all your toys over there. Good job, Evan. Come on. Where you? No. Dude, what are you doing? Put it where it belongs. Now, take the basket and put it on the shelf, okay? Put it back where you found it, on the shelf. No, not there. Over here where your toys are. You found them on the shelf. Now put it back, okay? You put it... Oh my gosh. Okay, that's good enough. Good enough. High five. Okay. This is... Ow!
Sorry.
It's okay. This is day 15 of working from home and being with these tiny, adorable humans.
Look at it.
What?
Pizza, look at
That's
it.
right! Is that your favorite? Okay, Evan. Okay, this is Evan's meal. Leilani got some pizza and fruit, and Evan's got some chicken and black beans. Day 15 of working from home and having the kids at home, and I have to say, it's quite the challenge. And I also have to say that I'm glad that Gilbert and I prepared for days like this. When Evan was super young, we couldn't even go to a restaurant and have a pleasant meal. The only way we were able to go to a restaurant is if I was driving, I would drive to the front door of the restaurant, I would drop off Gil. He would go in the restaurant, wait for a table, and then when he got seated, he would have to order food for Evan. And then he would have to wait for Evan's food to arrive. And then he would call me and he would say, okay, you can come in now. Meanwhile, when I would drop Gilbert off to go into the restaurant, I would have to drive around the neighborhood with Evan in the back seat of the car so that he wouldn't have a tantrum, because he was 3 years old. But if the car was still for too long, and if he had to wait for too long without getting his food, especially if he smelled food or especially if he saw other people eating food, like at a restaurant, he would go into a full-on meltdown. Yeah, I mean, completely full-on. Like screaming, tantruming, going like this and scratching. And then if, forbid that anyone go near him, he would bite them too. If he was in that, he would just flip. I love eating out and I love going to foodie restaurants. So not the McDonald's. I love going to fine dining places and having very good, fresh, farm to table food and stuff like that. The only way we're able to go and sit down at a table without completely disturbing the entire restaurant with Evan's tantrums or meltdowns is if we did that, which was to drop Gilbert off, have him order Evan's food. So that all I would have to do is park, get Evan out of the car, go into the restaurant, sit him down, and his food is there. So he would be completely taken care of. And then Gil and I could place our own order and eat. And as long as Evan was satisfied, we would be fine. So that was what we used to have to do over time. We did a lot of biomedical treatments on Evan. We did a lot of behavioral therapies on Evan, not just from therapists and from professionals, but we also did it at home a lot. And we both work full time, and it was not easy, but we had to be consistent, and Gil and I really had to partner with each other, not just as parents, but as Evan's teacher, just so we can get him to a place where he could be self-sufficient, so to speak. You know, as he got older, it got easier. And now we no longer have to do what we did at restaurants. We could just he actually waits now. I mean, as you probably saw in my other videos, you know, we've taken him and Leilani to Ireland, to Europe. He's spent long lines in the TSA lines. We didn't even have to get him you could get special permission to bypass all the TSA lines if you have a kid with special needs. We never have to do that anymore with Evan. Sometimes I do it anyway, just in case. But for the most part, he is a lot more patient than most typical children. So fast forward to today. Here we are. Evan has no school. Leilani has no daycare. Gil is working nights, so he sleeps during the day. I'm working full time. My company is not shutting down. In fact, it is getting more busy. And not only that, I no longer have commute time.
Mom, you have to drop something.
Oh, you want to just eat it? Oh, well. So I've been really super busy. Of course, we don't have childcare. We don't have babysitters. There is no one that's going to even want to babysit. And plus, am I even going to want to? Evan, he doesn't want to eat his food. Evan, you're eating that. Eat it. Eat it. He doesn't want to eat chicken and black beans. I think chicken and black beans are very good, Evan. They're very good. Anyway, so...
I like chicken and black beans.
You do? You also like pizza, right?
Yeah.
Do you want me to take your pizza away? I can take your pizza away and you can have chicken. Okay, so here we are at a time of coronavirus, and we're at home, and I'm wearing several different hats, including my full-time job hat, which I often get stressed about. So I don't know what public schools are thinking. I mean, I guess there's a lot of people that will stay home and don't have anything to do. And I also get that there are those people that lost their jobs that have nothing to do right now, and so they do have a lot of time on their hands, but they're also very worried about how they're going to pay rent or whatever. I'm in the opposite kind of position where I still have my job, and in fact, I feel like my job is more stressful now because everybody's working from home, and I feel like everyone expects more of each other because we're all at home. But I'm one of those fortunate people, and I'm being sarcastic, that when I'm at home, I'm also wearing different hats. I'm full-time mom. I'm apparently supposed to be full-time educator too for these beautiful tiny humans. I don't know how that would ever happen. I know I said beautiful tiny humans. That's you included. Yeah. So anyway, I spend most of my time working. So, and this is my whole point. I spend most of my time during the day working, but my work is being broken up into several different interruptions because I have kids. So I have to manage my beautiful little kids while my husband sleeps. So it's been a challenge, but I want to say that the training, and actually when Leilani was young, we also trained her as well to be self-sufficient. Like, for example, if she fell, like if she tripped and, you know, she stubbed her little toe, she used to go into full on, you know, as any 2-year-old would do. She would like cry and cry and cry. So we actually trained her to be decisive in how painful things were and whether or not it demanded attention or not. So now if she hurts herself or if she falls, she actually thinks to see how painful it is before she starts wailing or not. And oftentimes if she falls or bangs her knee or whatever, she'll think about it and she'll say, oh, it hurts a little bit, but I'm okay. Right?
Yeah, because that makes my knees feel better or my head or my toe. or my pinky, or if someone steps on my pinky.
Evan, don't stem on your
Or
food.
if someone steps on my pinky.
Someone steps on your pinky. We've trained our kiddos to be self-sufficient in a way. And I think it's really helping at times like this because I could do my work and they could, like I could put him on the potty and put him in his foot bath. And he doesn't ever try to get up and leave from his foot bath. He doesn't even put his hands in the water, and I got really present to this when I was talking to a friend and they were impressed that Evan, who has autism, wasn't even trying to touch the water in his foot bath. I really got present to how well trained he is, just how obedient they are. And it didn't come without discipline and without consistency, but we've been very consistent with our kids for the last few years. I know there are a lot of parents out there that feel like they can't handle their special needs child or their child with autism. I know that they feel like their child's behaviors or their child's disorder is way too much for them to ever consider that they could have their own life. For as early as I could remember with Evan, me and Gilbert have always had the mindset that we were not going to let autism or children defeat our dreams, and that who we are as human beings is gonna directly reflect on how our children get taught to be in life. I mean, you lead by example more than you think. So if I were to give up my life because I felt like Evan couldn't handle something, or I felt like he would have too much of a meltdown in a restaurant, so let's just never go to restaurants, I am actually teaching our children to give up on their dreams. I really truly believe that getting our kids to work around our lifestyle is teaching them that they could have it all. We're not giving in to them. What we're doing is teaching them how to be coached. We're teaching them how to be trained, how to listen. We're also teaching them how to make their own decisions. Now that we're at a time where I really have to split my time and my attention up, they're still able to sit quietly. Like Leilani is able to do these workbooks that I got on her own. It's very straightforward. She learns the letters, and then she names the animals. Like A is for apple. I know apple's not an animal, but it's the only thing I could think of. Yes, Leilani.
And when I made the number 20, I win a gold star.
Okay.
At the end.
Oh yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
So, and then Evan, he watches speech videos, and then he sits at the table, and then later on we go downstairs and we do some swinging and jumping. So, and they so often go for walks. We split our time in the middle of the day to go for walks. I'm not actually 100% focused on work. I'm probably 70% focused on work during the day, and then I gotta do more at night. I still have to find a way to make this new kind of arrangement more efficient, but I think it's pretty efficient already because we've been training our kids from the very beginning to be disciplined. Now, they didn't always like being disciplined. They didn't like it. They didn't like when we said no. They didn't like it when they got timeouts. The lesson that I'm sharing is we're at a very difficult time in this world right now. All our kids and families are home. It would really be tough for me to continue working and get paid for it from home if these kids were not disciplined, if these kids did not learn to be self-sufficient and happy being self-sufficient. I really think, Leilani's 4, and she's so joyfully mature. She knows what's effective. She knows what's not effective. Evan knows his boundaries as well. They both know their boundaries.